Vitam Sri Caitanya Vande Nityananda Savitam Sri Nandanandam Vande Sri Anika Charanam Govijana Samayita Vrindavana Manoram Sri Gurana Nityananda Sri Vaita Chanda Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. This Sunday satsang. What's the date? 13th. Excuse me. April 13, 2026. First part of the class, we discussed Bhakti Sandarbha, translated and commented by Sri Satyanarayana Das Babaji Maharaj from Jiva Institute in Vrindavan. So today we're going to discuss some points. There's a long section how he describes what Bhakti does, how Bhakti is. Creates auspiciousness, it destroys karma. So in this section 125, continuing, because we were also discussing it last week, 125, it's a long annotation. Yeah, of water. Thank you. Bhakti destroys aparabdha karma. Well, everyone knows that. That means unmanifested sins, reactions to sins from last life and last life and last life and so many last lives. And he says that even if devotion is not firm, because some people say, okay, Bhakti will do that, but only if someone is a Nishta platform or advanced in Bhakti. Jiva Goswami makes a distinction. He says even if devotion is not Nishta, he says on page 739, even if devotion is not firm, still Bhakti destroys all sins. He's very emphatic about that, because I've heard many people give interpretations of the power of Bhakti and they're incorrect. Bhakti is so powerful, it destroys all sins, and he quotes here, in their entirety. He quotes a Sanskrit word that means that Krishnasha, Krishnasha, which means Kritanasha. It destroys completely. Nash means destroy, and Krita means does. So it does destroy completely. This is a comment on a verse from Uddhava Gita, where Krishna is speaking to Uddhava in 11th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 14, verse 19, where Krishna is telling, as fire burns wood to ashes, Bhakti destroys all sins in their entirety. Krita Nasha. So that's what the comment on that verse is. Let's carry on. He quotes another verse is reported from Padma Puran, same analogy. As fire burns wood to ashes, Bhakti burns all the wood of karma to ashes. Everything, all of it. So of course we have doubts, that's our problem. That's not good. Now in the commentary, because I never heard these terms before until I met my guru, Pandit Baba, because he recited a little message during Diksha about the power of Diksha and about the power of chanting Diksha mantras and the power of chanting Maha mantra. He said, by chanting this Maha mantra and these Diksha mantras, it will destroy all my sanchit karma and kriyamana karma. I never heard those terms before. I heard of prabdha karma, aprabdha karma, kuta and bijam, but I never heard sanchit and kriyamana. So here it is described here. An individual's total stock of intermediate karma is called sanchit, which means accumulated karma. So that means basically aparabdha karma. Accumulated means aparabdha, which includes all the stages of aparabdha, which can be bijam and kuta, etc. And the action that is performed in the present is called kriyamana. So kriyamana is a way of saying parabdha, and sanchit is a way of saying aparabdha. Fancy terms, but same idea. So in other words, Bhakti destroys all karma. present, past, future, anything. Any intermediate stages of seed-like karmas or inclination for karmas, etc. Fructifying karma means prarabdha, what we're experiencing right now. Okay, that's pretty much repetitive. Everyone has some idea of those ideas. Jiva Goswami is just showing how bhakti destroys abrabdha karma, dormant karma. The intent of bhakti is to please Bhagavan, not to destroy karma. The later is automatically accomplished by the power of bhakti. In other words, destroying karma. So it's a side effect of bhakti is that we get rid of karma. The main effect of bhakti, if you get the pleasure of Krishna and Guru, and we get Bhav and Prem and go to Krishna by that power of that bhakti. That's the result. That's the result we want, and that's the main result bhakti gives. Bhakti gives prema for Krishna. Bhakti sadhana. This Vaidhi sadhana takes you to Vaikuntha, and Raganuga bhakti takes you to Vrindavan. This means that aparabdha karma is no longer a factor in determining the devotee's destination after giving up the present body. Very interesting. So when we die, our future is not determined because there's no more karma. That's the funny part. Unless you generate karma in the life of devotee. If one lives as a sincere life of devotee and he's not engaging in any sin, where is he going to go when he dies?
Vrindavan.
What about Vaikuntha? No? You know Vaikuntha?
Only Radha.
Radha. There's no karma. Karma determines what your future is. But you don't do any, so you're doing bhakti, it's destroying all your karma. It says bhakti bhajan destroys all karma. So when you die, where are you going to go? You have to go to Krishna. So that's why everyone gets a little doubtful. Everyone goes to see a Briga reader in Rajasthan or any stan. Can you tell me about my past life, my future life? You're getting liberated. You're a queen in your last life. Every girl, of course, was a queen. I've heard like 30 people who got the Brigas read. I said, you went and had your Briga Samhita read, and had you read your Janma, whatever, about your life in the last life. And he said you were a queen. How'd you know? Oh, I know. I have some powers, you know. I met 30 ladies who went to Briga. Everybody told me they were a queen. And then every guy is going to get a helicopter in this life. And he's going to get a Rolls Royce. They say all kinds of really cool things. Like one lady was, I don't want to mention her name, she's not even initiated. It's very funny, because she wouldn't think she would be her portion. But he said you get 7 darshans of Krishna in his life.
Wow.
So every time I meet her, she's married. She's a good friend of mine, her husband. I said, how many darshans have you had so far? She said, 7 left. I said, okay. Hang in there. So as we don't so much trust the future, Rigo, what he said, we don't trust the past either. Don't believe it. You may like it, it's come from your ego. Oh, you're a queen. Now I'm washing dishes. I'm washing, folding clothes, and vacuuming the floor, and taking the kids to school. The last night I was a queen, the Rajasthan. You know, you have to get some ego gratification somehow, even if it's illusory. The whole idea of ego is illusion anyway. But devotee doesn't need any brigo, it's the fact. Because you can ask, because a lot of devotees doubt, I'm getting liberated. That's the only true thing that brigo says. When he says devotee, there's mostly devotees go there, you know. It's like an in thing to do. You haven't been. What's with you, Larry? You went? You got a regular? Did you have your regular reading done? Tiger?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many helicopters did you get again? How many Rolls Royces?
No, I don't remember. It's a while ago. But not, there was no Rolls Royce mentioned. Maybe rickshaw.
But the boys were getting liberated, that's the fact. So we said, me? It was just to the logic. You're doing bhakti, all sins are destroyed, all uprupta, there's no more stockpile. You're not doing any sins. So what are you going to think of at death? Krishna?
Yeah.
Radha.
Because if you're married, you know you're not going to think of your husband. That's guaranteed. The husband's not going to think of his wife. That's what marriage is all about. To destroy that kind of thinking. Right? So you don't think about your husband, you don't think about your wife and kids, so forget it, never think about that. Then what's left?
Krishna.
Process of elimination. The little guy in the altar. So that should give one hope and happiness and peace of mind. Conviction. This is symptom of nishtha. Conviction. I'm going to Krishna. We don't beat a drum, go down the street, play a big drum with a microphone. We go down the street with a big drum and microphone and chant Hare Krishna, make a lot of noise and sound down Sankirtan, but we don't go make a lot of noise about our future liberation. That's quiet. But we should know in our heart of hearts that we're not going, because someone said, where do you want to be born next life?
Radha Kund.
Everybody's going to say Vrindavan. So where, what, but you're not going to be in the material world, so they're going to that Vrindavan. So let's go on and see what Jiva Goswami says. Aparabdha karma is not a factor in determining the devotee's destination after giving up the present body. So there's no past karma, and you're not engaging in karma this life, then where do you go? Uber wallet. That's what they say in India. They call God the Uber wallet, right? You must say no. Okay, so bhakti is compared to a fire. That's interesting because that's a very common expression, and it is kind of fired up. I mean, I don't know if I've been there a long time, but I guess it's still going on. So it's a fact. Bhakti is compared to a fire. Jiva Goswami is saying here. It implies even a mild form of bhakti through speaking has the effect to destroy all uprupta karma to ashes. And he cites the example of Jamil, who spoke one word. What did he say?
Narayana.
All right, one time, boss. I had the good fortune of being in Los Angeles in 1976 in ISKCON, Los Angeles Temple. Rubin's worked there. And Prabhupada was there in June or July, something like that, 1976. And at that time they finished translating and they're about to print the 6th canto of Bhagavatam. I had the printout sheets for the, what do they call it, dummy copy or whatever, you know, preliminary copy of the book before it gets printed. And Pradyumna, Sanskrit editor of BBT, he was reading the verse for the class, and he said, the Prabhupada was sitting on the outside on these big black plastic glasses on, like reading glasses. And Pradyumna said, the Yamadutas came to take Jamil to help, and he cried out, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. Prabhupada eyes, you know, Prabhupada, he could make his eyes really big. 3 times. It's not only once. Correct that, that's what I say. So Pradyumna said 3 times, Narayan, 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 because usually things come in 3 like that. Harinam, 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 you know, it's like Radha, Radha, Radha. Hari Hari Hari, Hari Haraya, Hari Haraya, 3, whatever. So Prabhupada said, no, only once. So he just spoke one word and got liberation, basically. A 2-step liberation. Got liberated from all his karma, but he still had some prarabdha karma to live a little longer. So he went to hard war, did not bhajan, they got moksha, got liberated. That's the story of the 6th canto of Jamil. Okay, let's go on. Yeah. What else we got over here? Bhakti is comparable to a wide, smooth, royal highway. So even if you run with your eyes closed, you will not fall down or stumble. The 2 eyes represent the Veda and Smriti scriptures, which means Shruti and Smriti. Proceeding with your eyes closed means that you don't know so much about what's said in the Shrutis or Smriti Shastra, or you're not even following them. You're just engaging in bhakti, unknowingly or incidentally, still the result will be obtained. Comparison to a blazing fire implies that bhakti is not dependent on anything else. There's no delay in burning sins. Just as a fire doesn't need any external help to burn, it does so without delay. So this is a fact that we should be fired up in bhakti. By being in the fire of bhakti, we get perfection. So let's see what else we have. This is a little different topic. He's talking about desire and bhakti. This is Anushade 126, how bhakti destroys sins, continuing the same point. The devotee does not engage in sinful acts because of their willing capacity. Isha Shakti is directed towards pleasing Krishna and not towards fulfillment of material desires. If one should commit a sinful act unintentionally or because of bad habits, there is no separate atonement to counteract the sinful activity. Bhakti itself is powerful enough to purify the act of the devotee, just as sun dispels fog. That's what it's an interesting point, because because we're all sitting in Vrindavan, so this is related to this. Everyone that's sitting here must have heard that when you go to Vrindavan, some temple president or some well-meaning devotee will warn you. You should understand that any offense you perform in Vrindavan, or any sin you perform, you get 1,000 times the reaction, 1,000 times the punishment. Who's heard that?
Nowhere.
Huh?
It's written nowhere.
Right.
No Shastra
Everybody
command
heard
for
it.
this.
No, I'm asking, who's heard that? You never heard of this kind?
No, personally no.
I know. Everybody else in the room heard it. Be careful, you go to Vrindavan, you get 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So, but this is not written in any Shastra. Come on, you heard that? Yeah, it's a pretty common thing, and certain things are common. If you lived outside this common, maybe you didn't hear it, that's obviously, but it's pretty well known. But the thing is, it's not true. It's nowhere in any Shastra, although it's common knowledge, it's commonly said. The interesting point is quite the contrary is true. In Mathura Madhyam, Rupa Goswami collected a group of quotations from different Puranic literatures, Skanda Puran, Padma Puran, Vishnu Puran, Adi Vraha Puran, Vraha Puran, etc., to glorify Vrindavan in different places in Vrindavan, like Radhakund, Govardhan, Gokul, etc., Bahulavan, and different forests, Talavan. So in there he says, any sin committed in Mathura Mandal is forgiven in Mathura Mandal itself. So you committed sin here, just stay here and stop sinning. And do bhakti, and just the power of living in Vrindavan will cancel the sin. There's nothing about 1,000 times or 100 times. The only place I've seen anywhere in Shastra about 1,000 times result is in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam. If my notes had a particular chapter, but it's in the 7th canto. Maybe. Do you remember?
14th or 15th chapter.
I think the 14th chapter. 7th canto, 14th chapter, there's the verse that says about results of punya karma, which includes bhakti also in commentaries. Punya means, the word punya means beautiful activities, also means purposeful activities. Punya means beautiful, purposeful, and intentful activities, are all meaning of the word punya. So punya includes devotional service, because there's no more pleasing or beneficial activity than worshiping Krishna. So there it says, any punya karma performed in Vrindavan gets sahasraphala adi, gets 1,000 times the benefit. So somehow that verse it says you get 1,000 times the blessings and benefit of doing good deeds in Vrindavan got twisted around, got misinterpreted. Say doing sitting is 100,000 times better punishment. But it's the other way around. Generally, Shastras, like Skanda Purana glorifies Jagannath Puri. So I asked my guru about this. He said, what is true for one Dham is true for all Dhams. So Jagannath Puri is a Dham, Navadvip is a Navadvip Dham, Jagannath Puri is Dham, Vrindavan Dham. So Skanda Purana has the Purushottam Mahatmya, which glorifies Purushottam Kshetra, which is called Sri Kshetra, which we call Jagannath Puri. And there it says, every step you take in Jagannath Puri, Purushottam's, you get the benefit of doing parikrama. And sleeping in Jagannath Puri or Vrindavan, which we do a lot of. Sleeping is equal to doing Dandavat parikrama. So Jaya Govinda is doing Dandavat parikrama in class. Because he's sleeping. You have to lie down. Lie down over there. That's why we put the bed there. The bed is for guys like you. You're in first class. You have to be devoted down to declassified down to second class. That's sleeper class. This first class flyer. So that's how it goes. Bhakti destroys sin without depending on any qualification of devotee. Okay, just chant Hare Krishna. Okay, let's see what else we got here. I don't know what else we got here. 47, 51. This is more about atonement and about ego and atonement. Indra got free from the sin of killing Britrasura by meditation. He meditated on Bhagavan. But the sages advised him to do a horse sacrifice to remove the stigma associated with the sin for the eyes of the masses. In other words, Bhakti is so powerful, you just do meditation, you get free from sins. So, Indra killed Britrasura. That's in what canto? Sixth canto Bhagavatam. There's a classic fight. Indra was fighting Britrasura. He got a thunderbolt from the bones of who? Dadichi Muni. And then he was killed. Britrasura was actually a great devotee and uttered very nice prayers to glorify Krishna, which have inkling of Gopi Bhav in those prayers in the mode of Sharanagati and surrender. They're often commented on. It's called Britrasura Upakya. The prayers of Britrasura in the sixth canto are very popular among Gaudiya Acharyas because they give a reverse hint at the depth of surrender of the Gopis of Vrindavan. Sixth canto. So he, to counteract his sin, he started meditating. He became free. This is told in Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 13, verse 17. It said, Indra got free from his sin by meditating on Bhagavan. So meditation, which means gyan, which means smaran, shravanam kirtanam,
Vishnu Smaranam
Vishnu smaran. So meditating, remembering, meditating, thinking of Vishnu, Krishna, Ram, it gets full result of doing all kinds of any other activity, what to speak of atonement. But the sages advised Indra, because he's a king, so the king must, be, not get criticized by the citizens. So they advised they do a horse sacrifice so the public would accept him. The devotees, when 1974 or 5, I don't know when, maybe 75, they opened the Krishna Balaram temple. It was, what do you call it? Pran Pratishtha ceremony of Krishna Balaram, Gauranitai, and Radha Shyamasundar. And everywhere around the world, when Prabhupada did Pran Pratishtha, he asked the devotees to go in the kitchen, get some bowls from the kitchen, deity kitchen, get some stainless steel bowls. You put the deity in a stainless steel bowl that they used to mix flour and stuff, and do Panchamrita Abhishek and install deities everywhere around the world. But in this case, it was Vrindavan, and everyone's going to judge Prabhupada's temple. So he called in 15 South Indian Brahmins from Sri Rangam. 15 South Indian Srirangaji Brahmins did the Pran Pratishtha for like 10 days, blindfolds and all kinds of rites and rituals. Why? He didn't have to do that. He could have installed them himself like he did in London and in New York and so many places. Just get some bowls from the kitchen, sit the deities in the bowl, put yogurt and honey and ghee and water and they're installed. But so that for the public eye, so people say, oh, this is a proper Pran Pratishtha, proper Brahmins, proper mantras, blindfolding, this kusha grass and all this stuff. So that's what Prabhupada did. So the same thing with Indra. He did a very elaborate horse sacrifice. So everyone said, oh, Indra atoned. Because no one could see Indra was meditating and Vishnu relieved him of his sin. So what does this mean to us?
Atonement is meditating on Krishna.
Nice point. Well, make it more, keep speaking. More day-to-day example.
Every day doing Leela Smaran or whatever Smaran Seva we have, that is the real way of getting purified with it.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But I want to say this, comparing the devotee's life to Indra's life. In other words, Indra made a big offense. So sometimes devotees make Vaishnava aparad.
Yes.
Indra made a big Vaishnava aparad. He cut off the head. In Skanda Purana says there's 6 kinds of Vaishnava aparad. What are they? One is killing a Vaishnava.
Yes. Not greeting a Vaishnava.
Not greeting a Vaishnava.
And not feeling happy about a Vaishnava.
This is a big one. Not feeling happy when you see a Vaishnava. I sat in many classes. When I sit down and give a class, people look at me like they don't like me. They look at me, oh, you're giving class? Do I have to sit here? I have to, because the temple commander is standing there and he's taking roll who's in class. And I can't believe I don't get breakfast. That's Vrindavan Temple standing. I don't like this guy. Okay, I'll try to stay awake. That's what I'm around. Like I said, glad. Because I have a lot of enemies in the world, That's why. So I sat so many classes. I read this thing that's come in front about 20 years ago. 6 kinds of offenses. I'll sit in the class and I'll see people that don't like me. Like, I think, I said, in my mind, I said, have you read Skanda Puran? You should be happy to see a Vaishnava. I can take it one step further. Especially Grihastha men that have money. They come in the temple, they say, oh, so Swami's here. You should ask you, I'm getting out of here. Some rich guy comes to the temple, they see some sannyasi visiting the temple, Sringarati. They say, oh, that's sannyasi here. You can ask your money. He went right out the back door. It's true. Because they always catch them. This is a story of Sri Goswami, my godbrother. He's in Vaikuntha, but he told the story because he was famous for catching rich guys and getting money for rich guys. You met Sri Goswami?
No, I did not.
Oh, he's in Bombay. Okay, you mean?
I could not.
It was before your time, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, this is about ego. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. In case you're wondering about, because you've been in ISKCON or you've been in Bhakti for 10 years, and you're so egotistic, there's hope for you. Listen, Jiva Goswami said, the superiority of Bhakti over Gyan, page 752. The superiority of Bhakti over Gyan is clearly stated in the Bhagavatam. Now, we see on the path of Gyan, the practitioner of Gyan, his sense of ego still persists unless he offers, or the person offers themselves first to Bhagavan. So if you have ego after 10 years of practicing Bhakti, you should become a Gyani. Because you can keep your ego and be a Gyani. But in Bhakti, your ego will kill you. In Bhakti, there's no independent ego. One surrenders everything. What is ego? What kind of ego do you get? If you surrender independent ego, do you get rid of ego?
No.
No, that's correct. So what kind of ego replaces independent ego? What did you say? Oh yeah, but that's a reality, that's not an answer. That's the answer. You get dependent ego. Independent ego gets surrendered to get dependent ego. I'm dependent in 6 ways called 6 items of surrender. I accept Krishna as my maintainer. Go to Trevaranantata. And accept everything favorable for Krishna. Seva. Reject everything unfavorable. Be humble. What else? Yeah, accept Krishna as my protector. So I'm not independent anymore. It's all about 6 ways of being dependent. So independent ego is replaced, enjoying, controlling ego is replaced by dasa and dasi ego, which means dependent ego, which means the ego of devotee. I am Krishna Das, I am Krishna Dasi. My life is meant to serve and love Krishna. That's the reality, that's the truth, that's eternal. In Bhakti, there's no independent ego. One surrenders everything to Krishna from the very start. Have you? Some of you are holding on. Let go. Now. Gashang Rani Rani. Okay. From the start, one gives up the ego, surrenders everything, including the ego. Then one becomes established in one's authentic self-identity, immediately understanding, I am a servant of Krishna. Being fixed in this understanding, a devotee doesn't do anything independently. The devotee's vision is always in relation to Krishna. That's a great sentence, great commentary. It is proven here that bhakti is the supreme method of atonement and also beyond all atonement. Okay. So I was saying about these 6 offenses to a Vaishnava, and Indra did a great one of those offenses by killing a Vaishnava, Vrishasura, who was externally a demon but was actually a Vaishnava, Chitraketu, and there's a whole long story about that. And so similarly, we make offenses to Vaishnavas, and sometimes the Vaishnava is not available to beg forgiveness from. We make offense, and we make offense today, and tomorrow the devotee leaves for Vrindavan. And overnight we realize I made an offense. In your heart you feel bad. You get up in the morning, you can't chant, you don't feel good. So you think about it, and Krishna reveals to you, you offended the devotee the day before, night before. You try to find the devotee, they show you that person left last night, went to England or wherever, Bombay or something. So what to do? Follow the teaching of Bhagavatam. Meditate. Meditate is atonement. So that's what the Bhagavatam is meant to teach us. It's all teachings. Every avatar comes as a teacher. Ra is teaching. Vrishasura is not avatar, but he's teaching. So every canto is a lesson to be learned about Vaishnava behavior, about Siddhanta, and Tava, and Sadachara. Sadachara is as important as Siddhanta, because wrong behavior can get you another birth. Wrong behavior is more deleterious, more destructive and detrimental than sin. Sin can get you chanting once Hare Krishna, sins are gone. You can't chant your way free from aparadhas. It's not so easy. Aparadhas hold on to you like a pit bull. Bulldog. You can't get rid, you can't open his mouth with your hands. You bite your leg off. So aparadhas like a bulldog. They bite your leg and you can't walk. You have to take another birth to get free from aparadhas. Many people are suffering from aparadhas from last life, Jiva Goswami said. We're suffering from reactions of aparadhas we did last life, not even this life. So watch out. So the lesson we can learn from Indra is meditating on Vishnu, getting free, that we can't get the opportunity to get free, meet the devotee, and beg forgiveness, do some seva, and give some Mahaprasad, etc. Personally, face to face, then we can meditate on Krishna and cry and beg and be truly feeling repentant and sorrowful and shameful that we were so foolish that we offended a Vaishnava devotee of Krishna, and beg Krishna to forgive us, and hopefully and Krishna will forgive us. We don't have to do a horse sacrifice. We should sacrifice our ego. That's the main thing that gets us in trouble. Okay, that's it for now. Yeah, that's it for now. So next week that was 127, 125 to 127 class today. Okay, 13 today. Okay.